On the news, students trapped as building collapses in Benin, Edo State. Lifting of Dangote petrol to commence on September 15. And Nigerian government to commence training on CNG vehicle conversion. Thank you for joining us on News Now on TV 360 Nigeria. I'm Simisola Atikun. We begin in Benin City, the Edo State capital, where several students of the University of Benin, UNIBEN, have been reported trapped in a story building after it collapsed following a heavy downpour in the early hours of Saturday. According to reports, the incident occurred in Ekato Street, Ekosodin, which is known for housing students. Although some of the trapped students have been rescued, the search for others is ongoing. The Dean of Students' Affairs is said to be coordinating rescue efforts alongside the university team. Witnesses at the scene of the incident say the university rescue team has evacuated some of the trapped occupants and the injured victims have been rushed to the hospital for medical treatment. The university management has yet to release an official statement regarding the cause of the collapse or the total number of individuals affected by the incident. The Nigerian government has announced that the supply of premium motor spirit, PMS, better known as petrol, from Dangote refinery in Lagos will begin on September 15, following an agreement reached on pricing and supply terms. The development was disclosed by the chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service and member of the Presidential Committee on the Sale of Crude Oil and Refined Products, Zach Adedeji. According to Adedeji, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, will serve as the sole off-taker of petrol from the Dangote refinery, with other marketers sourcing the product from the National Oil Company. The NNPCL will also commence the supply of 385,000 barrels of crude oil per day to the refinery from October 1, 2024, with payment made in Naira. He said all associated regulatory costs, the Nigerian Ports Authority (NPA), the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency and other agencies will also be paid for in Naira. Meanwhile, the Nigerian government says plans are at an advanced stage for training on compressed natural gas CNG vehicle conversion and is calling on teaming youths to make the most of the opportunities. The appeal comes just as the government has announced the distribution of 1,000 compressed natural gas CNG conversion kits and cylinders to the Federal Capital Territory FCT, Kaduna, Lagos, Oyo and Ogun states. Speaking in Abuja at an event on harnessing youth potentials and career prospects within the Nigerian automotive sector, the Minister of State for Youth Development, Ayodele Olawande, explained that the initiative aims to alleviate the impact of fuel price hikes and promote more affordable transportation across the country. Other speakers spoke glowingly about the CNG initiative by President Bola Tinubu as part of efforts for the government to achieve its target on new automotive fuel transition.
We have the BO high, they've said it clear and clear. I will repeat it again. We need whatever is in your head. Let's transform it to business. And it's going to help you. Go for trainings. We are ready to empower you. It is all about the young people, and it's all about the young people. A matter of time, the hardship will flow away. And we will hold and stand on our country. We are pleading for your support. We are pleading to come for this government. We are pleading to you that this government, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is committed to the people.
The cost of conversion, even though at initial stage, may be something, depending on how you look at it, high. I will learn that you can spend between 550 to 1.5 million, depending on the type of vehicle, depending on the type of cylinder, and depending on the type of kits you are using. And in spending this amount, you can recoup whatever you spend as the outlay in conversion within the period of 2 months to 10 months.
We discovered that the president, in his announcement, did say that we have 250,000 vehicles to be converted annually. That is the target. And if that is the case, it then means that there is a lot of job opportunities in that value chain for young people. But we are also not unaware that you cannot give what you do not have. And CNG, for me, is new. And if CNG is new to me, then I believe that to many of us, CNG is equally new. And I'm happy to announce to you today that the DG and the NADDC would kickstart a training session for young people to learn the conversion of vehicles to CNG.
The decision by the People's Democratic Party, PDP, not to sign the peace accord ahead of the Edo State governorship election on September 21 has sparked reactions and concern in the state. Out of the 17 political parties contesting the election, 16 signed the treaty organized by the General Abdulsalami Abubakar-led National Peace Committee, while the ruling PDP vehemently refused to put pen to paper as they queried the usefulness of the peace accord when 10 PDP members have been arrested and detained in Abuja without trial. Speaking further on this development on the station's flagship program, DG 360, the spokesperson for the Aswe Ogie Campaign Council of the PDP, Tony Alile, accused the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, of conniving with the Nigerian police against the opposition and peaceful conduct of the elections.
When you are contesting against a political party like the APC, I consider the party to be a drowning political party. And at that point, they are holding on to any straw they can, get their hands on. We will be signing our death warrant as a political party if we should participate in that peace accord. On all the elections that has taken place in Edo State for the past 5-6 years, when this peace accord came into being, or about 8 years ago, thereabout, PDP has gladly participated in all the ceremony, signing and all that. But a situation where our members, our core members, are being picked up. As we speak right now, there are over 80 names that are earmarked to be arrested by the APC using the Nigerian police. And as we speak, about 16 to 18 has been whisked to Abuja. If it is true that this situation that they are claiming, assuming the situation was to be true without conceding, is Abuja the jurisdiction? So these are the things that we are asking. We will gladly sign the peace accord when the Inspector General of Police can give us an assurance that there's going to be a level playing field. A situation where APC members come out openly, to rain fire and brainstorm, to call for open war. APC members putting on forced uniform to come out to call for outright war. The person of Blessing Agbomere, who was once a governorship aspirant, a known card-carrying member of APC. So all of these things are happening in this state. The Commissioner of Police is fully aware. The Inspector General of Police is aware, because several petitions has been written by our party, to this effect, and no action has been taken.
While debunking allegations of witch hunting the PDP, the Director of Media, APC Campaign Council, says the ruling party is on the side of peace and not violence.
It's very interesting to see that the PDP, known for violence in recent time in the state, are now the one talking about not signing peace accord. We expected this because we have been crying and shouting over the fact that they have been visiting violence on a lot of APC persons, as well as even our campaign convoys. We've had attack in Ososo, in Akoko Edo local government, where the former deputy governor comes from, the deputy governor that Obaseki is claiming to be his own deputy governor. We've had attack in Ekperi, where one of their deputy DG of campaign comes from. We've had attack in Ekpoma. We've had attack in quite a number of places. And so we have been shouting and petitioning and asking that the security agencies should act, in good faith, so that some of our members could be protected. But nobody seemed to be listening to us until recently, when the Inspector General of Police decided to ban the Edo Security Network, which is like a killer squad of the governor of Edo State.
Still on politics, a series of crises bedeviling the Labour Party since the 2023 general elections has further divided stakeholders and followers, called the obedient, who had expected the party to build on its successes. The crises include the leadership tussle, allegations of financial impropriety, suspension of national and state stalwarts, and picketing of the party's national headquarters in Abuja by the leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC). Despite these challenges, the interim national coordinator of the obedient movement worldwide, Yunusa Tanko, who spoke exclusively to TV360 Nigeria, says the Labour Party's leadership is governed by its constitution, adding that current efforts are aimed at building a formidable structure ahead of the 2027 general elections.
The obedient movement is a large movement with no particular head apart from His Excellency Peter Gregory Obi. The obedient movement is committed to good leadership, good governance, citizen engagement, connecting with the people and saying that, okay, if we want good governance, and this is how we think it should be, so that in the Committee of Nations we will be recognized as an integrity nation, devoid of accusations that does not allow the country to grow in a more democratic and advanced nation. So these are basic things that we needed to do as in the obedient movement structure, as it were. Even though we recognize that the obedient movement has people who may even necessarily belong to the Labour Party, but the obedient movement is far, far bigger than the Labour Party. So therefore, if we infuse the numbers that we have, we will be able to identify those that will vote for us, those that will represent us, those that will defend our vote at every starter, so that even our messaging will also go down the line. And at the same time, we will be able also, from the obedient movement, to be able to bring out the still quality leaders that we know that have the capacity to contest elections in the movement, as it were.
Nigerian civil rights activist and chairman Transition Monitoring Group, Awa Rafsanjani, has advised President Bola Tinubu to wade into the wanton arrests of peaceful protesters and anti-corruption campaigners, as this could undermine his administration. Rafsanjani, who spoke in Abuja recently, says the unprecedented campaigns of raids and violations in the country don't bode well for the nation. According to him, it's sheer negligence for the security and law enforcement agencies to use arbitrary restrictions and intimidation on unsuspecting Nigerians while watching unruly people take laws into their own hands.
What some of the security agencies are doing, they are actually undermining President Tinubu. And I am using this opportunity to call on President Tinubu to save his administration from a bad record that some of the security sycophants are creating for his administration. They are terribly and severely demarcating him. As a Democrat, he should warn them from demarcating his government by this arbitrary arrest, by undermining citizens' right to peaceful protest. He should do something to save his administration. History will go against him if he allows them, in the name of regime protection, in the name of whatever sycophancy, to undermine his administration. Or you go to Kano, where there's peace, you want to go and create artificial crisis. You say you must have a federal emir. I've never seen that kind of thing. So where is the government interested in, creating trouble where there's no trouble? Where you have trouble, you are not able to go and deal with that. You have allowed crooks and criminals to do whatever they are doing. And it is now the peaceful protesters that you are going after, or you are coming to attack Sept, or you are coming to, today if it is not Sept, it is another organization demanding for good governance, demanding for end to corruption. Corrupt people, looters, you are supposed to go after them because they are creating conditions for poverty, conditions for underdevelopment, conditions for violence, conditions for insecurity. You are leaving those ones, you are not having priority on them. It is those Nigerians who are tired of poverty, who are tired of insecurity, who are tired of hunger, simply because they say that do something, you go after them.
Residents of Kapam community in Chikun local government area of Kaduna State woke up on August 28th last month to find their community devastated by a strange toxic pollution. The farmlands were damaged, crops and trees suddenly began to wither, livestock began dying, and the residents started falling sick. Now they would later discover that the source of the pollution is the petrochemical refinery in the community, which is host to the Kaduna Refinery and Petrochemical Company in northwest Nigeria. The National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency has since attributed the toxic pollution to hydrogen chloride emission from ruptured pipes in the refinery, but so far nothing has been done in terms of remediation in the community, and there's been no formal statement from the management of the refinery on the issue. The residents of the community protested and even picked the gate of the Kaduna Refinery for action over the incident, but nothing really serious has come of that yet. So for now, the residents are left to deal with the issue themselves. TV360 Nigeria visited the community recently, and here is the story of some of the residents of the community.
Akinola Olunowade is one of the big yam farmers in Kapam community. He grows his yam tubers in sacks and has 5 of such farms in the community. But all the farms are now gone, destroyed by the toxic pollutant of August 28.
I don't have any other thing to do now. I borrow money in the bank to do this project, sir. I cannot lie to you. I need help. I have 3 children in the university. Presently, as you are looking at me, and I need to pay their school fees. What will I do? What will I do? So I don't know what to do. That's why I'm pleading to the world. If anybody who can assist me to come up again, that you try and do it, and that you do it directly to me, not through any third party.
I am retired Lieutenant Colonel Dubagari. I retired to 2014, and I bought this place. Bought it 5 plots.
The retired Lieutenant Colonel grows grain and ginger in his 5-plot farm, but the farm is now decimated by the pollutant.
As you can see, this is ginger. The ginger was very greenish. It's not turning yellow. That means the chemical has affected it. Look at my corn. Like guinea corn now, you can see no one is surviving. All of them inside, they have dried up. Only the maize now is drying gradually. The granite there completely was gone. We have to remove it to plant beans. And so many things inside. I have a garden inside where I plant a lot of things. That is, I just have passion in farming. All my things are gone. Nothing to fall on now. We are supposed to be eating corn now, but look at the corn has gone to another thing. We have nothing to eat.
It's the same story for organic fertilizer producer and farmer Sunday Beth, whose 1-hectare grain farm is more or less now dead.
I am crying for the people who can assist us, because up to now, I've not seen the refinery people to come and see what the level of damage, they damage our crop. So that is why I am crying for the assistance. Anybody that can assist us, so that we'll get what will feed the family, and also see how we can revive the business.
The devastation goes beyond farmland. The residents say many of their livestock are dead, and many people in the community are now falling sick.
Many animals died. Chicken died. Even I have part of it on my phone here that I can show you if you want to see. So even the health implication, since that day, no day that I don't buy milk for my family to take, because many of them have been complaining of chest pain, mouth bitterness, and the rest of it. I have bought roughly 1 carton of milk in my house to give to them.
The management of the refinery is yet to issue any official statement on the actual cause of the pollution, but the National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency, NESRIA, says it may have been caused by ruptured pipes conveying hydrogen chloride. But one of the residents of the community, who is a retired environmental geologist, thinks he knows the exact cause of the pollution.
Greenhouse gas was released into the atmosphere that carry a lot of poisonous gases, chlorofluorocarbon, carbon monoxide, methane gas. They were all released into the atmosphere that came down as acid rain. That's what we call it in geology, acid rain, that descended on the community, which affected even human beings. Some of the residents here, their body started scratching. Some had a respiratory problem. They had to rush their children and wife to the hospital. Then in the morning, we noticed a lot of itching. And on the third day, we noticed that some of the livestock, like goat, chicken, they started dying. So we saw the toxicity, which even made the women to go and block the road to protect to the refinery, because they approached the management and it seemed that there was lip service.
This is a chemical substances that have entered, we inhale it and it has gone into the body. It's not something that you just, it go like, as you can see, it's killing this crop gradually. That is how it's killing human beings gradually.
The residents say their lives have now been badly impacted and that they would need help as soon as possible. They say the sooner the help they are seeking comes, the better for them and their community. But there's no question that full recovery for Kapam community will take a very long time.
We'll take a break here. When News Now returns, South Sudan's government delays presidential elections by 2 years, citing incomplete preparations. Stay with us for details. Welcome back. Let's take you through our top stories. Several students of the University of Benin, UNIBEN, have been reported trapped in a 3-story building after it collapsed following a heavy downpour in the early hours of Saturday. According to reports, the incident occurred at Ekato Street, Ekosodin, which is known for housing students. Although some of the trapped students have been rescued, the search for others is ongoing. We also told you that the Nigerian government has announced that the supply of premium motor spirit, better known as PMS, from the Dangote refinery in Lagos will begin on September 15, following an agreement reached on pricing and supply terms. The development was disclosed by the chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service and member of the Presidential Committee on the Sale of Crude Oil and Refined Products, Zach Adedeji. He added the NNPCL will also commence the supply of 385,000 barrels of crude oil per day to the refinery from October 1, 2024, with payment made in Naira. In case you missed any of our news bulletins or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV and AVO TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery and Apple Store. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. On business, petroleum marketers in Nigeria say they have lifted 518,400 metric tons of automotive gas oil and jet A1 from the Dangote refinery, representing 60% of national truck out in 5 months. This is contrary to comments credited to the Vice President of Dangote Industries Limited, Deva Kumar Edwin, who said that local petroleum marketers were boycotting the refinery. According to the depot owners, documents from the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority show that independent local marketers have patronized Dangote refinery over the past month, a development the marketers say reinforced their commitment to ensuring seamless access to petroleum products across the nation. Still on business, Nigeria's external reserve has recorded an increase of $424.68 million between August 30 and September 10, highlighting an improved financial outlook for the country. Data sourced from a report by the Central Bank of Nigeria show the reserves, crucial for stabilizing the naira, financing imports, and managing external obligations, rose from $36.305 billion on August 30 to $36.730 billion by September 10, representing a 1.17% increase over the past 11 days. However, a slight dip to $36.244 billion was recorded on September 2, representing a minor decline of $61 million. This was followed by a recovery, with the reserves rising to $36.274 billion on September 3, reflecting a gain of $30 million. On the foreign scene, the government in South Sudan has postponed elections scheduled for December for 2 years, citing the need to complete processes such as a census, the drafting of a permanent constitution, and the registration of political parties. The Presidential Advisor on National Security, AAR, Tat Goodluck, says the extension would provide an opportunity to complete critical processes before the new election date of December 22, 2026. This is the second time the country, which gained independence in 2011, is postponing elections and extending a transitional period that started in February 2020. President Salva Kiir and his former rival turned deputy Riek Machar signed a peace agreement in 2018 that ended a 5-year civil war in which more than 400,000 people died. Meanwhile, Moscow and Kyiv have swapped 103 prisoners of war each in a deal brokered by the United Arab Emirates. The Russians released on the swap on Saturday were captured during Ukraine's incursion in the Kursk region, while some of the Ukrainians freed had been held prisoners since Moscow seized the Azovstal steel plant in May 2022. President Zelensky says among the freed were 82 privates and sergeants, as well as 21 officers. Russia also confirms it has handed over 103 Ukrainian army prisoners and received 103 Russian servicemen captured by Kyiv in its Kursk offensive in return. And on sports, few months after jostling for the job of the Super Eagles coach, former internationals Finidi George and Emmanuel Amunike will be at the opposite end in the dugout when Rivers United host Heartland in the 2024-25 Nigeria Premier Football League Match Day 2 clash with Heartland in Port Harcourt on Saturday. Both managers are in search of their first league wins in charge of their new clubs after they both made the switch before the start of the campaign. It's the first home game of the season for Finidi's Rivers United, who played a goalless draw against Bendel Insurance with 10 men last week, while Amunike's Heartland suffered a 3-1 defeat at home against Eyimba last week. Well, that's it on News Now. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.